Welcome to Around the Mic. I'm your host, Rick. I have Patrick, Jimmy, and Beth with me today. I'm going to dive right into the Resident Evil 0 remake. It was originally going to be part of a Resident Evil HD remake pack for the PS4 and the Xbox One, where if you bought that one, then you would get the other one too. But they decided that maybe there are some people who don't want to have to buy that game to get the Resident Evil 0 remake, so they separated it out. Which I think is probably a good idea. You want to give customers their options, of course.
Yeah, and that does seem like unnecessary to bundle your game together with another game that's already been out for a while. I mean, most people who are fans of the series, of course, have already gotten it. So that just seems like another unnecessary purchase.
Well, I'm not sure that the HD remake for the original Resident Evil has made it to the consoles yet. Oh. It's supposed to be released.
That's right.
The beginning
I hadn't thought about that.
I'll have to go back and double check. I know it has already been released for the PC. I have it. But I don't know if it's made it to the consoles yet. So, and they were kind of making this like an incentive to buy the new one.
But still, I'm not a fan of bundles, like only bundles kind of thing.
Right.
That locks you into that. Well, what if somebody does have another one?
Bundles are a good
idea.
If
one of your games
if you know you're going to be playing that game and you're really excited about it, then bundles are definitely a good way to save money if it's got a bit of a discount. But at the same time, I don't want that to be the only option, especially if I already have the other game. I mean, there's no point in me paying for it or feeling like I'm paying for it twice. So
yeah,
I think you have options either way.
Well, guys, let us know what you think about that. I think if it's a good idea, bad idea, probably a good idea, of course. Leave it in the comments below and let us know. Next up, I wanted to briefly mention, for the sake of Beth, that the new Battlefleet Gothic Armada trailer is out now. For those of you who are not aware of it, it is a Warhammer 40,000 title. And of course, Beth has many flashbacks to the
bane of my existence earlier. He talks about it when
We'll have the trailer and the video, of course. Please check it out. I'm very excited for it. I love huge space fleet battle type games. That's exactly what this is, and I'm looking forward to it. I know Beth is looking forward to it.
It'll be cool to see
it
in the Warhammer 40K universe too, because usually we see like the ground stuff.
That's true.
So now we're getting to see a little bit something different.
The space combat aspect of it, absolutely.
Chaos forces are making a breakthrough in the Gothic sector. It is time to introduce you to the ships that will compose your fleet in the upcoming battle against Abaddon the Despoiler. From the smallest of our sword-class frigates to the larger Imperia-class battleships, the Imperium Navy fields the staple of mankind's technology. Frigates and destroyers, light cruisers, cruisers and battle cruisers, and finally, battleships. These vessels may not be the fastest, but they all embark serious firepower. Along with strong void shields and thick armor, millennia of war against the countless enemies such as the traitor legions, the Orcs, and the Eldar taught the Imperium to be versatile. And so your ships allow quick adaptation to any kind of encounter or battle situation. Your targets will be shredded by your barrage of torpedo strikes, or if your ships are equipped, devastating Nova cannon blasts. Your powerful broadside armament of micro cannons and lance batteries will make short work of the survivors. As a last resort, remember these ships are well armored and can take quite a beating. This means that ramming your prow into the hull of an enemy ship can be a surprisingly effective tactic, especially if your target is of a smaller class. Your ship's warp drives can also be upgraded to achieve micro warp jumps. Use this to your advantage, either to quickly get out of harm's way or to catch up with the fleeting enemy, or to surprise them by setting your ship on a collision course. Battlefleet Gothic Armada warps in on PC beginning of 2016. Dismissed.
Battlefield, the new Battlefield, next Battlefield game, I should say, is in development now. It's EA said that now that it is EA that makes that, right? Now that Battlefront's shipped, they're going to move people over to create the new Battlefield game. I still very much play Battlefield games. I still play Battlefield 4. So I'm very excited to hear about this. Hopefully they'll take it into the futuristic direction, but we'll see what happens. And of course, we want to revisit our old friend, Fallout 4. We do love it here at Around the Mic, and well, both Beth and Patrick have been sinking their teeth into it recently, and we
Yes,
want to
I
get
am
their
so-
ideas about it.
I'm so balls deep in that game right now. I can't put it down. I mean,
Would you say that your D's nuts deep?
I lost these nuts in that game this week. I did a 24-hour stretch, and I loved every minute of it. It's been such a great game as far as the content and just the amount of fun and shininess that's all around. That I can almost forgive a lot, as usual with the Bethesda games, a lot of the game bugs. Like, I have problems with the movement sometimes. It seems like it's either a frame rate issue or it's that I'm in that power armor but I'm not.
Right.
And it thinks that I am, and so I'm running after I've stopped or turned direction, I'll keep going the same direction. But I can overlook all that because I'm just having so much fun in the game. There's just,
Which
The world
platform
is
are
so
you playing it on?
I'm playing on the
yes, Rich.
Xbox.
I'm on PS4.
Yeah.
So I think now when I save, it says I'm at something like 10 days.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you got me beat.
That's
I'm-
twice the amount of time
Yes,
I
I
put
would
into
say-
it.
I'm at 3.
It's really.
I was the lead before.
I think I'm becoming a bit
baton has been
ADHD because now I will be going on a quest and I'll be walking down and I go, ooh, something's shiny over there. And I'll have to run
That's
over
the
and
way
grab
I was
this.
from the start of the game.
Yes.
Like, I had issues with previous Fallouts. I never made it to New Vegas when New Vegas came out because I went everywhere around it.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that you guys had stressed to me is make it at least to Diamond City, get there pretty quick. So I tried to stay focused and get my ass to Diamond City, and I did, and it was probably the better route to go, and I had to stop myself a lot of times to be like,
It's
"Ooh,
really
what's
hard.
that over there? What's that over there?"
Especially when the silhouette of a new spot that you haven't discovered yet shows up on your compass, and you're like,
Right.
I gotta go find that. I gotta go. But I can understand how.
So you go
hard it
find.
is.
I mean, what do you don't?
No.
I found 100 locations. So I got that 100 location achievement before I even got to Diamond City. If you consider like Diamond City a south demarcation line,
Right.
never made it south of and I got that 100 locations.
My problem is
Yeah.
if
I had to
I
find them all.
if I find something, I've got to go first find the marker on the map and then go explore it. That's just the way I do
gotta
things.
loot it.
Yeah.
Go loot it.
Well-
I wasn't gonna say I went into those 100 locations, but I
Yeah.
dinged them on my map and then kept going on to the next.
Right,
like,
right.
oh, there's another one. Oh, there's
and
another
that's
one.
exactly what I did in New Vegas. And then once I did all that in New Vegas, like I said, I kind of stopped playing the game and never got into New Vegas. So I kind of didn't want to do that this time. But that's very much how I play. But now that I've been to Diamond City, I'm like, it's on. I'm going to go and find locations and loot buildings, and that's like all I want to do.
Right.
What's sad is I actually bought the strategy guide,
Yeah.
and then I haven't opened it but maybe 3 times when I'm like, what in the world's going on? And then I would go to class and I would talk to my students about the cool things they've done. And so I was telling them, I'm like, have you ever snuck up on someone in power armor and you actually target their fusion core with your gun, and if you blow up the fusion core, they will be forced to get out of the power armor and fight you, and then you get the power armor and the frame and everything. And they're like, no. So now it's just running around trying to do all these things, try it out. I try to sneak up on Brotherhood of Steel guys, and I try to pickpocket their fusion core. And be
didn't
careful.
even know you could do that.
Be very careful. I did that. I met the guy from Atom Cats, and he's like, we're over there, and he was walking away, and I quick saved, and I snuck up behind him, and I pulled out his fusion core, and he got out of his armor and kept on walking, and I waited till he was so far gone that I just like got in his armor. I'm like, I've got a T60 armor now, and it's already Atom Cats, so like I'm totally into this game. I love it.
I've been making an awkward video, or my awkward moments in Fallout video, and I've had a few awkward things like random settlers or companions. I wake up with them in my bed. I don't go, they're not there when I go to bed, but once I've done sleeping, and then I get the little, you're well rested, you scored.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
yes, you did. Did you get some experience points for that?
I did get experience points.
Life
So,
experience.
I've had
Oh,
like a few
goodness.
different things like that. I have one where I'm shooting at some dogs. I'm clearly hitting the dogs. Blood is coming off the dogs. They're yelping. And then the car that I'm standing on catches fire for no reason. And so I hightail it out and it blew up. But apparently I was shooting the dogs through the car. So I've just had some awkwardness going on.
Speaking-
I had a companion stick up for my cosplay choices in game the other day, and I thought that was really cool.
So what was the interaction there? What happened there?
Somebody was trying to trash talk my Silver Shroud costume that I was cosplaying as in the game, and basically my companion came up and said, "Look, if she says it's done, it's done." And then he opened fire.
That's hilarious.
So it
Then
was
he shot
fabulous.
them.
Yes, and then they died.
Speaking of bugs, I ran into one earlier today that reminded me of the one that you were talking about, Beth. I was talking to my companion, and I don't know if you guys experienced this, but sometimes your companions just start moving when you start talking to them.
Yeah.
So sometimes they move out of the range of your interaction, which then gives you full control of your controller or your mouse again. So when I was doing that, I accidentally fired my gun, but then Piper, who's my companion, moved back into the area where I can interact with them, and my gun continued to fire by itself. Reload, fired by itself. Reload, fired. I was like, so yeah.
That's kind of what happens when I'm running with the controller and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
It's like I have
Right.
no control over it. Sounds very
So
similar.
the game has definitely got its fair share of bugs, but we love the world. It's so fun to explore a Fallout universe. I love it so much.
I forget to eat, sleep, drink. Anytime I play
Bathe.
Fallout
I
4,
don't do any of that.
people call
very
me, "Are
much.
you still alive?" People start knocking on the door. The EMS shows up. We've heard you haven't been alive for 3 days. No, I've been alive. I've just been playing Fallout 4.
There was a smell coming that way.
Or I just pass out playing wherever I'm at.
Right, yeah, pass out with controller in your hand.
Wake up, forget what
I
I was
have done
doing.
that.
You got some
Fallout needs
drool
you to turn the
coming
controller
out
back
of your mouth.
I woke up. I woke up and I was still on the quick save menu, and I was I was like this. I was like, "Oh, I should go to bed."
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it happens.
addictive. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, you should, which I'm sure most of you have. Well, that wraps up this week's episode of Around the Mic. Thanks for joining us again. Let us know how we did today. If you liked us, if you didn't like us, let us know what we can improve upon. Of course, if you love us, subscribe. We do love that. And we'll see you next time.